Pull the thread through the hole in the bobbin from the inside out. Place the bobbin on the bobbin winding shaft. Press the bobbin winding regulator towards the bobbin. The start-stop button will turn orange. Hold the end of the thread. Press the start-stop button to wind the bobbin thread. Once the bobbin thread is partially wound, stop the machine and cut the thread in your hand. Restart the machine and continue winding until you have enough thread. The machine will stop automatically after the winding, and the bobbin winding regulator will move back to its original position. Remove the bobbin and cut the thread. Place the bobbin into the bobbin case. Before putting the bobbin in place, make sure that the thread winds counterclockwise. Feed the thread through grooves A and B on the front side, then pull the thread towards the back. Finally, close the hook cover. Bobbin setting is complete now. You can begin sewing by pulling up on the bobbin thread. Always turn the power switch off before threading the needle thread. Raise the presser foot lifting lever. Raise the needle to its highest position by aligning the marking at the hand wheel with the one on the machine body. Hold the end of the thread and pass it through guides 1 through 5, following the arrows. When you come to the guide on the needle bar, pass the thread from the right side. You can now thread the needle. Lower the presser foot, then lower the threading lever until you feel it's heavy. Hold the end of the thread and pass it through the guide marked A. Lower the threading lever further and pass the thread through the guides, pulling it towards the back. Release the threading lever to thread the needle. Pull the tail end of the thread through to complete the threading. To pull up the bobbin thread, first lift the presser foot and gently hold the end of the needle thread. Turn the hand wheel towards you to move the needle up and down once. Pull the needle thread gently to bring up the bobbin thread. Pull out both needle and bobbin threads and pass them under the presser foot towards the back of the machine. Use the standard presser foot A for straight stitch. Turn the hand wheel towards you to lower the needle to a starting position. Lower the presser foot and press the Start-Stop button to begin sewing. Once you finish sewing, press the Start-Stop button again to stop the machine, and then press the thread trimming button. Raise the presser foot lifting lever and remove the fabric. Once the threads are automatically trimmed, you can continue sewing. To begin sewing the edge of thick fabrics, First, lower the needle to a starting position. Press the black button located on the left side of the standard presser foot, then lower the presser foot. Once the presser foot is lowered, remove your finger from the button and begin sewing. To change the sewing direction, stop the machine just before the point where you want to change direction. Use the needle up-down button to continue sewing slowly until you reach the exact point where you want to change direction. When you get to the point you want, lift the presser foot with the needle left in the fabric. Change your sewing direction, then lower the presser foot again and start the machine. When you want to sew a reverse stitch at the end, press the reverse stitch button at the desired point. The machine will only sew a reverse stitch while the reverse stitch button is being pressed. The machine can automatically sew a lock stitch at the beginning and end sewing, and then cut the thread. We'll use a straight stitch as an example. Press the automatic lock stitch and thread trimming button. Press the button again, and it will disable the automatic lock stitch feature. Once you have selected automatic lock stitching and thread trimming feature, position your fabric at the point where you want to begin sewing. Then press the Start-Stop button. The machine will sew a few reverse stitches before starting to sew. If you want to stop sewing partway through, press the Start-Stop button. When you are finished sewing completely, press the Reverse Stitch button. The machine will sew a few reverse stitches, cut the thread, and then stop automatically. You can change the needle position of straight stitch by using the zigzag width adjusting buttons located below the LCD screen. Press the up arrow to move the needle to the right, and the down arrow to move the needle to the left. You can also change the length of the stitch by using the stitch length adjusting buttons under the screen. Press the up arrow for a longer stitch and the down arrow for a shorter stitch. There are 4 types of overcasting stitches available. Select the pattern that suits the fabric you are working with. We'll use the Practical Pattern 6 overcasting stitch as an example. Use overcasting presser foot C for this stitch. Position the edge of the fabric so that it aligns with the guides. Press the Start-Stop button to start the machine. Sew slowly, making sure the edge of the fabric stays in line with the guides. The machine comes with 8 patterns that can be used for buttonholes. Select your desired buttonhole. We'll use the standard buttonhole pattern as an example. Use buttonhole presser foot E for this stitch. Pull out the button holder and place the button and then push the holder to set the buttonhole length. The buttonhole size that matches the button is now set. Pass the needle thread down through the hole in the presser foot and pull it out sideways. Insert the fabric and lower the needle to a starting position. Lower the presser foot. Lower the buttonhole lever until it stops. If the lever has been set correctly, the icon on the screen will disappear. Make sure the icon has disappeared and then begin sewing. When the buttonhole stitch is finished, the machine will sew a lock stitch and stop automatically. Once the machine stops, raise the needle and cut the thread. Use the ripper to open the buttonhole. Using a stopper pin as shown will prevent you from cutting the stitches. The buttonhole is now complete. Your machine has a wide variety of stitch patterns. We'll use a scallop stitch as an example. Use manual buttonhole presser foot I for this stitch. For this stitch, use 1-point pattern number 30. When you sew a scallop stitch, it is important to leave a little extra room at the edge of the fabric. This will prevent the stitch from running off the edge. When you are finished sewing, cut the edge of the fabric, being careful not to cut any of the stitches. Your machine can sew both letters and numbers. Use manual buttonhole presser foot I for this stitch. Select the numbers of the letters you want to use. If you press the memory button after you've selected, the machine will save your patterns. To correct an error or change what you entered, press the Clear key to delete one character at a time. Re-enter the characters you want to sew instead. When the button is pressed continuously, all the patterns in the memory can be deleted. Once you've selected your desired pattern, press the Start-Stop button to start the machine. Finish sewing and cut the thread. Your letters are now complete. We hope that this DVD has given you a better understanding of your new computer sewing machine. If you have any further questions, please refer to your instruction manual. We hope you will enjoy your sewing!